Okay, welcome to the next lesson. So hopefully you've done your homework in the last lesson and written your first outreach template. Now in this video, I'm going to show you how to write a full sequence. So what is a sequence? A sequence is a series of messages. What you don't want to do is just send one message to a potential client and then never follow up. Because honestly, a lot of times people see your message and they're just busy. They just forget about it. I mean, it probably happens to you all the time. How many times do you see an ad or you see an email or something and you're actually interested in that product or service, but like it just slips your mind, something happens, someone calls you, you get busy with something else, or a bird flies out the window and catches your attention. So the thing is, a lot of times people don't reply to your first message, not because they didn't like it, they just didn't see it. It slipped their inbox, or they were reading it and then got distracted by something else. So that's why follow-up is so key. You'll actually see a lot of people will reply to you on your second, third, or fourth message. And this just applies to sales in general. We need to kind of keep staying on top of our prospect's mind and not give up if we don't get a reply at the first attempt. So what you want to do is write a full sequence. Now, earlier in this course, we showed you how to build your first list. When you're getting actually to messaging, you want to have your writing organized ahead of time. So what I recommend is always creating a Google Doc whenever you're launching a new outreach campaign. Write your templates on a Google Doc and write your full sequence. That way, when you're actually going out to message these people on LinkedIn or email, you just have it on the Google Doc and you can just kind of copy and paste and customize it to that person with your research. So it's better just to have all the copywriting done first and then go out sending it, just to make it really efficient. So you want to write your sequence first on a Google Doc and then get going and start sending it out. And this is also how you can really scale your efforts, because if you had to write a different message every single time to every single person, it's just going to get very time consuming. Now you can definitely have every message be a little bit different and personalize it like we talked about earlier, but keep like 80% of it the same as that same template covering the same problem and the same solution. On the resource attached, we're going to share some sequence formulas as far as how you can structure a sequence, how many messages you can include, and a few different ways you can go about it. So everything will be here on the document as far as how you want to structure your sequence, but I'm just going to talk through a few real quick. Now, generally, you don't want to be annoying to a prospect, right? Follow-up is very important, but you want to be what I like to call pleasantly persistent. We all know that salesperson that calls us every day or emails us constantly, and it just seems desperate, right? So you don't want to be like that, but you do want to, stay on top of their mind. So for the most part, you can structure your sequence many different ways, but generally the best thing to do is just to have maybe 4-5 messages maximum and spread it across 2 to 3 weeks. So you don't want to be sending a message to somebody on Monday and then messaging them on Tuesday again. Let at least 3 to 4 days go by before you send another message, because if you do it too quick, you're just going to kind of annoy people. Now, if you look in the document, there's a few different formulas, a few different types of sequences. All you got to do for this campaign is choose one and then write the follow-ups. You already wrote your first message in the sequence in the last lesson. So now all you got to do is choose a sequence and then write the follow-ups, message 2, 3, and 4. And if you look in the outreach playbook, we also have examples of follow-ups. So why don't you scroll down to the resource and go down to the example outreach sequences. On LinkedIn, there's a few different examples, and we have it numbered. So we have the 1x3x2 method, which means 1 connection request, because remember, on LinkedIn, you have to connect with somebody first. 3 messages across the inbox, across 2 weeks. So that last number is kind of the time scale. 1 connection request, 3 messages across 2 weeks. And if they don't reply, then just leave it or maybe follow up much later. Then we also have the 2x1x3x2 method. So we have 2 points of engagement, 1 connection request, 3 messages across 2 weeks. And what a point of engagement is you can actually maybe comment and like on some of their posts first. That way, by the time you message to them, they kind of see you as, not so much of a stranger and somebody who's actually, helped boost their content. Now, if you scroll down to email, we have the 4x2 method, much simpler on email, just 4 emails across 2 weeks. That's what I do most of the time when I'm writing an outreach sequence. And then you can also do the 8x6 method if you want to make a longer sequence. So that's when you have 8 emails across 6 weeks. Now here's the thing, if you're going to go beyond sending someone 4 or 5 messages, don't have the other ones be, pitching your offer and saying the same thing. Because then it's just going to come across a little bit salesy and a little bit into the annoying territory. So we want to stay out of there. So for the 8x6 method, if you're actually going to be sending someone 8 emails, the first 4 can be about your offer and about what you want to talk to them about. But if they don't reply, just send them some useful content for the next 4 emails. Send them like a case study or a helpful resource, or, hey, I found this article that I thought you might like because you're the CEO of this company, whatever that is. But yeah, you can get away with sending more than 4 emails as long as it's not just saying the same thing and still trying to, pitch your offer. So that's pretty much it. We just got a few here. Just pick one that you think makes sense. There's no right or wrong answer really, just pick one and get to it. You should have already written your first message in the last lesson, so all you gotta do is just write the follow-ups here. So go out, take some time to write your whole sequence. Best of luck, and I'll see you in the next lesson once that's done.